Good evening, and welcome to another Kazaki Flyer stream. As you can read in tonight's title, we're going to explore a little bit of a little lakeside trip here, provided our controls keep working. As long as our controls working, we'll be fine. The airplane is dependable. We're going to be taking up a de Havilland DH-2C Beaver. This particular model is on floats. We've got our canoe with us. As you can see. And tonight we're at, let me check my map here right quick. We are at Uniform, India, Uniform. And this is near to Lake Baikal in Siberia. So we hope everybody brought their long pants because it's going to be cold outside. So we hope is that everybody enjoys this little tourist little fishing trip. And we'll be getting started here right quick. First thing we've got to do is, of course, start the airplane. And let's see, first we want to make the stick go away. And let's see, we'll turn our master battery on. Alternator is on. We'll turn our heaters on. Definitely need the pitot heat. Cabin lights, nav lights, beacon, landing light, strobe, instrument lights. Turn on our magnetos. We're on the front fuel tank. So we're going to hit our fuel boost, turn it on. Cross our fingers. See the prop here. And hit the starter. And we start. Well, mixture too rich. Hit the starter again. And there we go. That's a start. Scoot myself a little bit closer to my rudder pedals. Get my feet up on them. Adjust my point of view a little bit. Pull the microphone a little bit closer. And watch it swing away. Of course, it's in an awkward position to tighten up the lock. There. Hopefully that'll hold it for a little bit. Okay, let's release our brakes here. And I know there's lots of competition that's on tonight. Welcome to a new year. 2023 has to be better than 2022. Okay, throttle up a little bit. We want to get started here. Make sure our prop pitch is set to full. Okay, there we go. Starting to move. We're going to get an awful lot of throttle to move. Okay, we're not going to need the full runway here. We're just going to come up here to the hold short line, and we'll see if we can find our METAR for this airport. Well, she's really not wanting to move today, is she? I know it's cold up here. Let's see. Bump that. Now. Okay. Wind is... Oh, wind is showing us calm. So we'll just take runway 08 here and take off toward 26. Okay, come on. Forward you go. Come on. Let's go. I'm not tapping the brakes too hard. Let me get out here. Pulling the cords loose out of my ears. And that's not cool. Okay, plenty of runway here, or should be. Matter of fact, we'll just give ourselves one notch of flaps just to make sure. Give her full throttle. Airspeed's alive. 60. Older. 70. 80 knots. Lift off, please. And there we go, up in the air. Hooray. Okay, gear coming in. Yep, retracted our wheels. Okay, we want to pull back our manifold pressure back to about 2,000. Adjust our trim, pull our flaps in. It ain't one thing, it's another. Down, more down trim. Don't want to get in the clouds. Clouds equal ice. We don't want that. Okay, check our map right quick. And we want to come up this river here. Come on, turn the map off. Even though the the river is frozen. Darn. Maybe if I put it on the outside of my hand, it won't keep snagging on my arm. There. Now down. Okay, we're at about 3,500 feet, which is a little bit high. But we're going to turn up the river now. And we just follow this river to the lake. Just let our altitude creep down here. Bring our power back a bit. Because we're going a bit fast. When I did this earlier in the week, the weather was horrible here. Today it's much nicer. There's some sunshine. There may be some low clouds in the area, but this is still much better conditions than I was trying to fly in earlier. Hey, 2,500 is good enough. Up trim now. Want to hold our own. Okay, I want to bring my pipper to there. Okay, autopilot on. Oh, radio's on. There. That's what I was forgetting. Some kind of pilot I am. That's how you get to be a dead pilot. Just our heading bug back to where we want it. Then we can put our head down in the cockpit again. Autopilot, heading, and just this altitude will do. Okay, watch our airspeed, about 130 knots. Let's try to keep it there. And we're just going to fly up this river. And hopefully our stuff won't disconnect itself. A little bit of left. Because we'll be flying right down this valley. If we go too far to the right or too far to the left, we'll hit these hills. And we don't want to hit the hills. Especially after our misadventures on Friday night. Now some streamers, they'll let you sit with them as they go through the reboot screen and restart. But I figured I'd made it that long, in an hour and a half. Which was pretty good for me. I'm still losing some altitude here. For 2,500 versus 300 feet a minute, that'll do. And arm. And here it comes. Add a little bit of power in. Okay, we want to make a little bit of a right-hand turn. The proper thing to have done was to have taken skis on a day like today. Okay, right at 2,500. Click the alternate altitude button again. Well, where does it think it's going now? Okay. Let's get out here and look. I'm going to come right a little. Where does this thing think it's going? Oh, okay. Autopilot on. Heading. Altimeter. Okay, we're going to go down 500 feet a minute. Back to the left a little. And watch our altimeter again. See if it'll actually capture the altitude here. I think this is a beautiful part of the world. We don't explore it enough in flight sim because we let ourselves be governed by political things instead of focusing on this is our planet, this is our home. We're pilots. We'll go wherever we want. As long as we're bringing happiness and smiles to wherever we visit. Okay, there's 2,500, and it looks like we're going to capture here. We'll trust and see if it does that. Get our airspeed back up. One thing I like about the Beaver is it's very, very dependable. Goodness. Okay, coming to the left. Just let her bounce. That's what she wants to do. In the springtime, I expect this is a really fun river to fly up and down. This is wintertime in Siberia, so of course it's all ice. I'm just glad I don't have to deal with the snow today. Hey, Viper Strike. Oh, you did get to stream this morning? Man, I was up so late last night, I slept right through this morning. But I hope your stream went well, and that you had another interesting place to take people. Just watch my heading. Steady up. Because we've got a ways to go. But we have missed you the last couple of weeks of streaming. So I'm glad you've got your internet issues straightened out. It would have been fun to have you with us last night on the Scruffy Dance show. That's kind of a turning into a quick New Year's Eve tradition. Everybody fly with Scruffy as we cross New York and watch fireworks. Man, that's a nice trip. And Zagreb is a beautiful place to go. In case people don't know, Zagreb is in the former country of Yugoslavia. I think it's in Serbia now, isn't it, the Viper? Anywhere in a DC-3, man, that's just that's the way to travel. Okay, we're doing 130 knots. That's decent. Yes, I'm on the East USA server, and I just left uniform, India, uniform. There's really not many places to stop until we get to where we're going. Let's see, let's check our map and see if there's actually any place to go. Nope. I think our destination is the next closest airfield. Although there are a couple of small dirt strips farther up the lake. We was talking on one of the other streams the other day, and I called this the world's biggest ice cube. And I think this lake is the world's biggest ice cube. It freezes pretty solid every year, and it is fresh water. Oh, it's in Croatia. Thank you, Viper Strike. I figured if there was one person on the planet who would know where it's at, you would. And that's better than my guessing. I know when we did one of the train runs with Murph a couple of months ago, we explored a part of Croatia and Serbia, and that was just outstandingly beautiful country. Nice deep valleys, good wide rivers, and easily followed roads. Hello, Tallphil. Nice of you to drop in this evening. There's always room for more. And we're not that far away from where we took off at. It's back down this valley. We left uniform India, uniform. And we'll be going toward, eventually our destination is uniform India. How's that for a mouthful? Yes, I know I have the echo. It comes from the structure of my room. My studio is actually part of my bedroom, and it doesn't have any anechoic tiles or anything like that. So it's just, the sound just bounces off the walls, especially if I talk up too loud. Now if I turn the sound down a little bit, I can cut out the echo, but then I have a hard time being heard. Man, I hope you get some. I got some. I'm just using some basic ones. Basic flight controls. I've got a Cytec 52, X52 stick and throttle combination. I've got some Cytec throttles and some Logitech pedals. They're not the most expensive sets in the world, but they still can set you back a good penny. Now, the CH stuff I had for my other PC, that's back in the day when I first got it, that set me back quite a bit of. But then there wasn't a lot of demand for flying gear back then. There's a little bit more demand for it now, thank goodness. All those controls are well over 20 years old. Matter of fact, these controls are, well, at least the X52 is over 20. I bought the Logitech pedals about 8 years ago I got back into Flight Sim X because I just wanted to fly again. And after MSFS came out, I bought the throttle quadrants to have a better twin engine setup. I've been sticking with that ever since. So I don't have the finest in quality, but they work. It's sort of like my flying. It bumbles about and staggers from place to place, but it works. Let me try turning my volume down here if I can reach across. There, maybe that'll be a little bit easier. As long as I talk into the mic, it's not so bad. I can't even hear it on my monitor. Okay, we're actually coming up to the river delta as it dumps into the lake. So you get back in our cockpit, we'll look at our map over here. Yep. See the river under us. Yeah, I just love this part of the world. It's beautiful. I don't know how accurate it is, because Siberia is not exactly a place you can just run down to the store and pick up a map for, or just look up on Google Earth. Just a touch remote. Map check. We're not really close to our waypoint yet, but we're getting there. When we get there, we'll be turning onto a different course and heading up toward the lake. Now, this is pretty quick for a private owned aircraft. 130 knots, pretty good clip. We want to check our fuel tanks. Okay, our front is down to, about 10 gallons. We'll switch here in a minute. We'll switch up here at cabin. It's nice to just look out the windows. Got our co-pilot with us. She goes with us everywhere. Okay, plenty of amps. Temperatures and pressures are just a little cool. Our oil cap is rattling, so no. Be doing that. We'll go ahead and change tanks after that misadventure. Go to the center tank. Okay. Now we want to come to a new heading. More northerly heading, approximately about 340 or so. Looks like the lake isn't frozen today. I'm seeing an awful lot of blue water up there. Check my navigator. Honey, check the map for us. Okay, that's got us on the proper course. Mainly just cruising across the lake. Or down the river and then cross the lake. This has always turned out to be a longer trip than I thought when I planned it out. But that's half the fun of it. Now if I can get my feet off the pedals without shaking the plane too much, and then I can turn and get my ugly mug off the camera. There we go. Now maybe we can get some tunes going here. Still trying to get everything situated where I can pay the right people the right kind of money. Not exactly the stablest mentally to process these kind of things anymore. This map. Okay, it's 16 miles, and it's only another 9 miles to where we're going. Then we change course yet again. You can start to see just how big this lake really is. Or how far is it? Six miles. Okay. As you can see, there are not a lot of sim flyers up here in this part of the world. Wish more people were here. It's definitely worth exploring. Keep tangling up my hands in my own cords. Okay. 3 miles, and then we'll make the turn. Okay, 1.7 miles. We're going to start making our turn now. We're going to come to a heading of 250. Okay, 250 set. Here she comes around. I gotta admit, it's a lot more fun when there are a lot of people flying with you. But then, that's kind of not what my gig is about. People want to, they're more than welcome. Buttons. Nuts. Okay, that's better. What are you doing? I'm going to go count trees. Oh. There. There, now we can get back to the airplane. Although this is a pretty long stretch, this is where we're actually crossing the lake. So get used to looking at a lot of water. Okay, there we got to lean our mix out. We're not really that high, but we want to stretch our fuel out as long as possible. Starting to lose a little power here. But we'll add in a few, a couple inches of manifold pressure. Make sure our RPMs are good. We're in the green up there. I'm reading my gauges right. We've got approximately 20 gallons in this tank, and then we've got a full tank in the center or the rear. What are we on? We are on our center tank, so we'll have it in the back. We need to let's switch up our tanks now, just so that other way. There. Now we'll balance the weight a little bit better. Whoa, green. The snow is breaking up. What happened here? This is Siberia. This ain't supposed to happen. As our friends in Buffalo, New York know, lake effect is a real thing. Matter of fact, we even get it here down on the Tennessee River. And we are feet wet and headed out over the lake. I'm just hoping that people find this part of the world that I might take them to a little bit more interesting. Pick that up. Where is it? There it is. And put that in my pocket. Try to put that in my pocket. There. That'll get it out of my way so I'm not snagging it constantly on my bad hand. It does look like that on the more northern shore there's a lot steeper terrain. Now we could probably just cut straight across the lake and make it a lot shorter across the water, just fly down the beach, but we'll just take this direct path. It's only a few minutes longer. Yeah, I've got earplugs in my ears. Sounds like somebody is setting off yet more fireworks outside. Water, water everywhere. And we can actually drink it with a filter. I've seen videos of people cutting ice out of this lake before, which is pretty awesome in its own aspect. As you can see, the poor beaver doesn't take you anywhere fast, but it does take you there. And when you get there, you're definitely equipped for whatever you might run into. Like we've got a canoe. I'm sure we've got camping gear. Put the lights back on. Uh-oh. I didn't like that sound. Help me get myself off the camera for a minute. There it goes. It's doing its thing. And it's doing its thing a lot. Okay, after a small minor disaster, it at least fixed things, and it didn't lock up everything like I was afraid it was going to. But we plugged everything back in and made sure it was still running. So at least maybe we can at least get there for a few more minutes. Because you don't want to see me staggering around trying to plug stuff back in an emergency. I can barely reach it as it is. The ground speed we're doing it 126 knots. This is a lot more than I thought we would do. Looks like we'll be heading where we're going. It's going to be frozen lake for a while. And we hope that mic sounds a little bit better now. Before I was so rudely interrupted, and now we got some vibes going again. Most coordinated person in the world, I am not. piano's always good to listen to while flying. In the little bit of real-world flying that I have done, as a passenger anyway, we didn't have time much to listen to the radio when we were in the air. We were always busy monitoring ATC instead. We had the ability to pick up radio, but seldom found the urge to do so. One thing that was beautiful was there was always something new to look at out the window. Kind of like here. Ice coming out from the lake edge a pretty good bit. Already see the trees. It's not that far. I do hope Asobo gets around to making more pilot figures for us to choose from. Ooh, ice floes. It's even thickening as we watch. Okay, now we're in for it. We're on the ice itself. Getting blown off course a little bit by the wind. I don't really have a lot to say tonight. I was debating whether to even cancel my tonight's stream, but I decided to go ahead and have it. Like the Postal Service, neither rain nor shine will keep us from our appointed rounds. mine. Where we're going is just around the bend from that ridge up ahead. There's obviously a village over here to our right. Down just a little bit, but it's not gone. Turned out I had my date and time set wrong last night. Instead of I was flying along the Scruffy Dam. He was seeing fireworks, and I wasn't. Like, what's wrong with my stuff? And they said, reset your date and time, go to live time. Boom, there they were. Fireworks everywhere. Great. May have to detour around this ridge line. But we'll get a little bit closer before we make that decision. So, of course, it picks "You Are in Peril" music. I'm really hoping that anybody who's just tuning in and wants to enjoy this experience really does enjoy this, because it opens up your mind to just what a great planet we live on. And if we don't take care of it, we're going to lose it. All of our eggs are currently in one basket. We don't have multiple homes for humanity. This is all we got. We get closer and closer to this mountain. We'll come left a little bit on heading. Couple of degrees should get us clear. There we go. What we're looking for is the mouth of a river just on the other side of this ridge. Okay, we've balanced out the load a little bit. Yeah. Be like Alice, turn our engine off mid-flight. Turn that gas gauge the wrong way and it'll cut your engine off in a heartbeat. Okay, just follow along the edge of the coast here and look for our river mouth. Nope, this isn't it. Oh, it does look like it's got that. It's kind of beckoning us to come explore. Okay, there. Now I can look at what I want to see. That's better. Now we can see our waypoints. Man, that's spectacular. This isn't even photogrammetry. Okay. We'll want to come up around this headland up here. Then we'll find our river. It's not this river. It'd be faster to go up and over, but that's not what we're into. Okay, we're getting up to our river mouth. Adjust my seating so that I can get to my controls. We're just going to go ahead and, for this last leg, we're going to come off the autopilot and just fly this the way a push plane was meant to be flown. Watch our airspeed. You don't want it to get too high. Let the altitude come down a little bit. Okay, we've crossed the lake. There we go. Hit our barometric pressure again. Okay, we're getting nicely close to the trees here. Oh wow, we're actually seeing somebody else flying in this part of the world. Amazing. A little village here. What a nice place for a village on the side of the lake. I expect fishing is their livelihood. Oh, great. Again? Yeah. Oh, here we go again. Now, I'm going to do something I hate doing. I'm going to active pause. Turn my microphone down. Okay. Ah, genius. If it weren't for one thing, it'd be another. Okay, that's a bit much. All right, now let's try again. And don't let her fall in the drink. Because the drink's awful hard. It's frozen. plug back in with the throttle. Down on the RPMs again. We just fly up this river. What I find odd is I hear all the other computer sounds over the monitor, but when it does the USB disconnect thing, I can't hear it at all. Okay, Irkutsk Airport, where we're going, is at an altitude of 1,600 feet. So we've got a little bit of altitude in hand, so we should be fine. It is a bit up the river here. Done it again. Yes, it has. Not that. Okay, let's try this again. This is getting old. And it's just under OBS. I'm just flying by myself and just flying around. It never disconnects. Only when OBS is on in the background. Throttle back, get our RPMs under control. Our trim right. So we can turn over here. Okay. And get everything wiggled back into position. The chair doesn't roll as good as it should. When it does roll, rolls in the wrong direction at the wrong times. There. Get the mic adjusted. See. Now 8 miles to our interception to the move over to the ILS. We won't fly the ILS except to follow the course. Keep our RPMs under control. A little bit of down trim. You can get her down to around 2,000. That'll be a really good altitude to be holding at. Right about there. I hope that low-lying cloud up there isn't going to interfere with our landing. And now we're Back to flying the lonely skies again. Right at about 2,000 feet. Keeping our airspeed fairly constant. Okay, if we turn here, this will set us up on our ILS. But we're going to go direct. Okay. Oh. Get to. And we're almost at the end of our journey. Seen some really gorgeous countryside today. Really nice 3/4 moon. Uh, 2,500's a bit much, but it'll give us about 1,000 feet above the ground. Pretty good sized city up here. Big buildings. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, here it is. cut inland and take a look. Now, since we didn't take the ILS approach, we'll probably have to do a circle around to make a proper landing. I haven't seen the tower yet, but it may not have a big tower. I see a taxiway. Now that looks like a runway, even in the snow. Let's reach over here and kick our gear down, and the gear extends. Turning base. There's the runway lights. Keep our turn. And there we are. Turn our throttle back. Start descending. We are a bit high. Couple of notches of flaps. And cut the throttle. Okay, under 100 knots. Watch our glide. Okay, now cut the throttles and flare. And there we did. There we touched down. And it's like we didn't even roll. LRM said we landed at 190. How nice. Flaps up. We'll just come up to whatever terminal they have here. We don't spin out first. That was just me being clumsy on the rudder pedal. And there is a bit of a wind here. Yeah, we don't want to take off again. Now, where are you going? Okay, there's a taxiway. We'll take the next one. Actually have somebody here. But we're not the only one that likes to fly in weird, exotic places. that's just a regular road. We'll go up to the taxiway. Try to keep our controls under control. Taxiway Alpha. Plenty of general aviation parking, it looks like. And even some international terminals here. Now, let's take a little look and see what MS gives us here. I think we'll stop here in front of Ops. We'll call it Ops anyway. All right. Parking brake set. Get our feet back off the pedals again. Scoot around in our chair. Do the awkward scoot. Okay, we cut the throttle with our mix. Engine off. And then we can scoot up a little bit. Okay, heater's off. Radio's off. Shut up. Lights off. Pitot heat off. Fuel booster off. Magnetos to off. Fuel to off. All right. Well, there you have it. Little caviar trip up the across Lake Baikal deep inside Siberia. Get a little bit of an aerial view of this airport. The city of Irkutsk. And we've got somebody in a MiG-21 sitting on the tarmac. He probably trying to get started or waiting on somebody. I do like the looks of the beaver. Just classic lines. Now let's see if we can get in here. And if there's No, no, not there. Everything's off. And now it's time to see if we can do a raid here. Just give me a few minutes. Okay. I've got that coming up. And good, Scruffy is on. Let's raid Scruffy. Wrong button. Okay, as soon as this silliness gets through, we'll start our raid.